Hey everyone, it is Jennifer, and today I'm going to be talking about July plans and specifically my monthly planning routine. I'm going to dig into this a little bit deeper versus just focusing on the stickers, although that will be, of course, part of my planning. So this is the dashboard pocket from Erin Condren and the magnetic clip from Erin Condren. I have my weekly trigger list in the actual sleeve here. The notepad is also from Erin Condren. I can link that for you. And then I wanted to create a master monthly planning list. So that's what I did here. And we're going to kind of work through the different things that I need to do when I sit down to do my monthly planning. And we're going to do that for July 2025. So I'm going to take this out and then just set it to the side. I do have the first week in here prepped already, but again, today we are doing July planning. So let me grab my stickers because I've talked about that a little bit in my setup video for this planner. I really wanted to take some time and focus on setting myself up for success, basically. And some of that is the organization that I don't always show on camera. And with that and things like this, I just want to do more of that on this channel versus just always the basics of setting up a month with not really digging a little bit deeper and sharing the ins and outs of that, if that makes sense. So this is my 2025 Erin Condren monthly collection. So whenever I do my monthly planning, this is what I'm going to be reaching for. Usually at the beginning of my planning sessions for the month, I'm going to be marking this off with a sticker, which is in here with the monthly doodles. But since this is the first month, I don't have, July's not over, so I'm not going to mark July off yet. But when I do my next monthly planning session in August, obviously I would be marking off July. I also have not ordered my book of the month for July, but when I do, I'm going to add those books here on the July section. And then we'll flip to the July calendar and get started on this page. So all of my July kits are in here, all monthly kits, not just July. I am using this monthly kit 730, which is called Independence from PlannerKate. Now I'm going to be using this because I also have all of the dashboard inserts in here for the 4 boxes when we get to the dashboard page, which of course I will show you. And I have this that I keep in that sticker album, which is all family, friends, birthdays, and anniversaries. So let's go ahead and put the headers down in here. This part will be probably what you expect, which is just setting up the monthly calendar. But after updating those first few pages in my planner, this would be my next step. So these July kits from PlannerKate, as we move in to our new life planners, they have not been updated. Everything still fits perfectly on the calendar pages. Now when we get to the dashboard page, that's a different story. But just know that if you have monthly kits from PlannerKate for these calendar pages that are Erin Condren specific, they're going to work. I am going to keep this a Sunday start so that I don't have to redate everything with the holidays or the date dots. But I am going to put those date dots to use on my sidebar. So let me go ahead and get these days of the week down, and then we'll go on from there. Next up, we will put down the holidays that I need to for July. Looks like really just the 4th of July. We don't celebrate Canada Day here in our household. And then we're going to move on to just like a basic overview of the month. Now, what you do need to know is I do not include things on my monthly that are very routine, like, for example, going to church every Sunday. We do that. I don't need to put it down. I'm going to remember. That way I don't have too much going on my monthly. I have found if I do that, then it's very cluttered and overwhelming and I sort of miss things. So this is just like a broad overview. I think I also want to use the Sidebar sticker this month. And I also have my mini months that I wanted to include. So we'll go ahead and put this down first. And then I need to grab my mini months. These I also keep in that binder. So I want to include next month on here. So this is July 2025. So I need my August 2025 sticker. And we may do some functional highlighting on here as well for important dates in August, just so I can see how close those are at a very quick glance. The first thing I want to mark is our family trip that we're taking in July, which is on July 17th, 18th, sort of this weekend. And I am not a huge fan of putting these date covers up here for the month, for the days that are in the previous month, because it just makes like this big, huge block of stickers. But I do love using these to mark days, special days within the month where big things are sort of happening. So I'm going to use them here versus how they were designed for to mark our family vacation. I think I'll stop with 2. I'm not really sure if we'll be home on this Saturday or not. And then we need to label that. And I'm going to use this L5 label, the flags. And this is a trip that my whole family is really excited for, and that is the pickleball PPA tournament that we're going to. There's also a rodeo this evening, but we're planning on not even driving home. We're going to be staying in a hotel, so no rodeo for us that night. And then let's see what else we need, like a checklist of sorts for t-shirt orders that are due at church. And I'm going to use these appointment labels backwards so that I can use it as a checkbox. So t-shirt orders are due on July 6th. We also have the Walleye Festival. That's kind of a local fair sort of thing on this weekend here. And I don't want to use more of these full boxes. I feel like that would be too much. So we'll just use another flag here and put Walleye Festival. And we'll probably go up Friday. Maybe Saturday. We'll start with Friday. I'll know that it's going on for more than one day for sure. And then we have a church parade on Saturday, and I don't know the exact time, but we're going to use another flag label for that. Then on like the weekdays here leading up, it is our local 4-H fair, and I think that I'll use some sort of thin washi for that to mark instead of like the thick days. So let me get out my other kit stickers. These are like the weekly kit stickers and the journaling stickers, and I can use something off of here like this washi sheet. We'll do the navy blue and just put a strip going across the bottom here, because that will last, I think, Monday through Thursday. We'll see if that piece that I had left is big enough to go, oh yeah, to cover Thursday as well. And then we don't have to use a fresh strip. Save that one for later. And let's go ahead and mark that. And we'll just stick with the flags. Then we'll use a different color to mark my husband's on call. And I am lying because I'm glad that I do this sort of thing. He's on call this week here, and obviously that can't happen because we will be out of town. So I need to see, I'm sure he switched weeks with someone, and then I will mark that in here with probably the red thin stripe. So I'm just going to make myself a note on my weekly planning here to check his on-call dates for July. All right, and then I have a work thing to go to on the 31st. Not necessarily a fun thing, it is just a work training, and I'm going to use, again, this date cover sheet, but instead of these, I'm going to use just this full box. Now, those are really the only big things that are out of our normal schedule that I feel like I need to have on the calendar as my overview. So let's go ahead and move over to the sidebar. And again, that's going to be for birthdays and anniversaries. And once again, this is a sheet I'm going to use every month, or at least I plan on it. So this is EVT 33, and I'm going to use the red happy birthday sticker right here at the top. And then we need the date dots and some tweezers. And then my little cheat sheet that also stays in that sticker binder. So it looks like I have a birthday on the 12th and the 13th. Not I, one of my friends or family members. And then the 21st is an anniversary. Now I know that's not a birthday, but I'm going to keep it here. The 27th. And the 29th. And the 31st. And then of course I will write in the names next to each of those. All right, and then for the mini calendar, I do want to add some highlighting. I got these new Zig clean color dot markers. They're a little bit different than my older ones that are not dual tip, and I got them on Amazon. I can try to link those for you. I'm going to use the blue. I'm going to mark our first day of work and school, and if anything else like a major pops up for August, I'll go ahead and do that. So I like that. Just a quick little look what's coming up. All right, so this page is finished. Now let's talk about that dashboard page. So unlike this page where the sticker kits are still going to be totally fine from PlannerKate, Erin Condren did update her dashboard. So These boxes are different sizes now than they were in the old planners. And Kate has, of course, updated her sticker kits to fit that. So we start with the base, which is the decorative portion. So I'm going to go ahead and put that down first. And I've done this a couple times now, so now I know to put down this little header first. It makes things just a little bit easier to kind of build top to bottom. Then we'll do the next square, and if you need to know where it matters, these two boxes are the same size. So if you wanted the red on top and the blue on bottom, you could do that, or you could switch them. Doesn't really matter because they're the same size. So maybe just a visual preference on the decorative portion. And then we'll do box 3. So she's calling this box 1, box 2, box 3, which will come in handy when we talk about the inserts that she makes next. And then box 4. Well, that's not going to work. PlannerKate saves me so often with the removable, repositionable feature of her stickers. Okay, let's talk about the inserts now. Again, I have tried to set myself up for success, and I have created a sleeve in this binder for all of the options. So we're going to do box 1 and 2 first. I have these labeled box 1 and 2, and I do have a video up just on the dashboard layouts, but then also organizing all of my stickers. So I can link that for you as well. Okay, so box 1 and box 2 are the same, and these are all of the options that Kate has for these two boxes. So we have a bill tracker insert, we have the large calendars that fit in those boxes, and I bought several of these in case I want to, like, which I do, I wanted to have like enough for the entire year. There is a book insert, which I do my books at the beginning in the 12 planning boxes, so I don't think I want to use this, but I did kind of purchase all the options to show you guys as well. There's a graph or grid option, there is a bulleted list option, and then there's just some lined notes. So I think for what I want to do with this is, one of the things that I did in all of my old planners is I did a monthly memory, and I want to do that again. So I'm going to keep this box blank. I will use my printer, which I have everything linked in my Instagram stories under print pics. I will do that for this box. So when July is over, I'll print my favorite memory and it will fit perfectly in this box. And then I think I want to do a little description or journaling about that photo in this box. So I think the best option for me would be this lined insert. So we'll go ahead and do that. And then in my August planning, I will do the picture and the journaling, and I'm going to add that to this monthly plan list that I have. So I've done the calendar, I'm working on the dashboard, and then I have a subsection. So box 1 is always going to be my memory picture, and then box 2 will be the journaling about that picture. And now we can talk about box 3, which is this larger vertical option. So I'm going to put these back in box 1 and 2 sleeve. And then I'll show you all the options Kate makes for box 3. And then I'll decide which one I want to use. So again, very similar. We have a bulleted list, a graph insert. I have a couple sheets of that. Then the lined option. Then the monthly tracker, which you have room for 10 habits, and then you can track them through the month. There is a bill due, amount due. We have another book option. And yeah, that would be it. So I think for me personally, I'll keep, I don't know. I think we're going to go with this. We're going to go with the habit tracker. So I do track these in my traveler's notebook because it's out all the time, but I think it will be satisfying to have everything on this page at the end of the month. So I'll probably just reference my traveler's notebook when I sit down to do my August planning and update this. So every day I try to do a kitchen tidy and make all of the beds. And I've been trying to do meal planning. You're going to see more of that later and maybe laugh, but maybe I need to add it to this. The thing you need to know about me is I am highly motivated by trackers. So it's kind of scary because if I put it down here, then I have to do it. That's how my brain works. And we're going to leave the bottom ones blank for now. I don't need that many trackers, but I might add to it. And then this fits inside of this decorative piece. And then we need to talk about box 4. And on my little cheat sheet on box 3, I will put update habits. So in August, I'll go back and fill that in and see how I did. Now for box 4, again, several options. So I could have done my habit tracking down here, but of course I put it up there. I do have the bill tracker and the books shelf, a grid, bulleted list, and lines. And I think for this, I am going to do the bills due. And fortunately, my husband takes care of all of that, so it's not going to be like, oh, our mortgage payment is due or whatever. It's going to probably be more like personal planner purchases that I'm tracking. But I think I'm gonna like having a dedicated space for that so I can see, and maybe instead of due, I'll use that as shipped, and then when it arrives, I'll use the paid, but I'll just know that in my brain. So on my monthly task list here, box 4 will be orders, online orders. All right, so let's check the list. I've done the calendar and now the dashboard. I have that broken down. I've done birthdays, anniversaries. I've added the mini calendar, and I think the cleaning I will bump down to my notes page. And everything's just gonna kind of keep flowing with that same kit. So I need some washi to use. I think I'll do this popsicle washi because I am obsessed with it. And we'll put that down as the header. I do have month stickers, so I could put a July sticker at the top, but I feel like since I'm in the July tab and this page is labeled July, I don't really need to do that over here. But I do need to create some sections. So the first one I want to do is cleaning. And this is where those dashboard and daily duo stickers, I really like them because they're like half the width of the page. Or I could use the daily duo stickers, which are the decorative or the solids. And I think I'll put a piece of torn washi down here first for decoration off of the journaling kit sheet H1. And we're gonna layer a solid dash line. This is from the Dashboard weekly kit. I'll put that down first, and then use a piece of torn washi off of sheet H1 again. And I don't think I need to label this cleaning because I'm gonna know based on what I write underneath it that that is my weekly zone cleaning. So we need to label the weeks next. And I kind of feel like I need a checklist. We'll do the sheet D. I think these will work. And then we'll write in. So we'll do week 27, which is, I think, June 30th through July 5th. And then let me write in the rest of the weeks for July. And then this next week would be week 31, which would fall in August. So I'll write it on my August sheet when I get there. So week 27, we'll just start with zone 1. And then we'll work down from there. Someday, if you guys are interested, I will do a video on zone cleaning, which is kind of like the Fly Lady. It's loosely based on that. If you're interested, let me know and I can add that to my video lineup. All right, as far as other notes sections go, what you also need to know is that I did a master summer June July spread when I did my June plan with me. So I probably want to move my back to school section specifically to July. That way I don't forget and I can just have it up front and center when I'm in my July pages versus going back to that notes page. I won't do that all of the time, obviously. That was more of like a summer master list of sorts, and I don't mind the carryover. Okay, so we'll do the same thing with a dash label and a torn piece of washi, and then I'll know when I see this that it is back to school stuff. That'll be evident by the list. So we'll add a checklist here again, and we'll write in, actually I'm gonna wait. So we're still in the month of June here. So I'll wait, and whatever I don't get checked off of this summer list, I will then transfer here. All right, I'm kind of hoping that I have my plum paper boxes. Let me look for those. I don't think that I got them. I do have this daily duo sheet. Let me see what else I have. I wanted to add like a quote or scripture to this page. I feel like I definitely need to add some of that super cute clip art. I think what I'll do is just add a scripture, and I'm not going to look that up now. Like a memory verse for the month, that would be fun. And I'm going to put that, we'll put that down here. This is just a really thick daily duo label. Kind of center this on the space that I have left. And then we'll put this little bunting flag right here. And we're gonna call that good for this notes page section. When I do my August planning, I'll be sure to flip back and fill all of this stuff in, like transferring this stuff over. And by then I'll have my list transferred from what I didn't get done in June, and I'll probably have picked a verse. So you'll see all of that sort of come together in the next month. And yeah, we're done there. So let's go back to my master list and see what is next. So I've done my cleaning and I have my back to school there. We've done, the end of the month note page. This is what I really neglected in my 24-25 planner. At the end of the month, you get another notes page, and I really did not utilize it. This year, I want to use this as a currently page. So again, I can use some of these doodles, which I think I will. That'll be cute. All of this is in that sit down and plan your month binder album. And then I need my currently stickers. We're going to use that other sheet or other strip of washi off of this sheet for the top. I think it'll be fun to keep it with the monthly theme. And then we'll decide what type of currently we want to include. So we have the actual currently sheet, which would make it super easy, but I might also include some things off of just this basic vision board from PlannerKate, if I want to do goals or memories or anything like that. And do I want, I feel like I want the thick washi. I know I got the thick washi at the bottom of this page. The cuter I make this, the more likely I am to fill it in and use it. And I want to do that. So we're going to do the thick washi add-on here. And then we're going to do reading for sure. I've been reading a ton over the break, and I don't necessarily want to just line these up straight. They're going to be kind of scattered. I want to do a feeling, just like a mental health check-in. And definitely listening. I'm a podcast girly. I fall asleep every night listening to some sort of podcast or book. And we'll do a going because we have that family vacation planned. I don't know that I'll do that every month. And then we'll fill in this space with, break it up a little and do something circular. Maybe this will be perfect after our family trip to that PPA tournament. I can write that in here and then do like a mini journal on this page. And we'll wrap up with just this random blank notebook so it matches these. It just doesn't have a label on it, so I could put my own little spin on it. Actually, I'm going to change my mind. I want a little bit of variance in here, so we'll put that back and we'll use like this little push pin one instead. All right, so I do have clip art, which I think will work well here, and I do have the July doodle. And I think I'll just start filling in with some of these clip art stickers. All right. So that's going to wrap this up. And then since July isn't here yet, I'm not going to fill this in because I want it to be what I actually did in July. So again, in the August, maybe I'll do this during the week sometime in July so that when I sit down to plan August, I'll have these already filled out. I'll have to debate when I'm going to do that. But I want it to be a reflection of July nonetheless. So reading, going, feeling, listening, a little journaling about that trip, and then maybe a major goal for the month that I completed or a project, something like that. So stay tuned for the finished version there. I'm happy that I have a specific purpose for this notes page, because if you watched my how to close out a planner video, you know I struggled with this. Okay, so that's like the bulk of the monthly planning, and then I did set up my notes pages again kind of ahead of time for success. So I'm not going to do that this video because we're already at like 52 minutes, but I will fill in our family's birthdays on this spread so I don't have to keep track of this paper anymore, and I kind of like updating that every year as we acquire new friends or new acquaintances that we want to send a card or a text message to. So I'll do that off screen. Hopefully for August, I'll have this filled in. I want to do a separate video for my cleaning routine because I've been getting a lot of requests, and I think that that's going to take enough time that it can be dedicated to its own video. So stay tuned for that. In August, again, I'll have this set up so I can just sort of reference that. And actually, I'll have this stuff done and this stuff. So if any of that applies to the current month, I have enough space left here that I can pull those tasks from the master cleaning over to here. That way, again, when I'm in my July pages and working, I will see that versus having to remember to flip back here. In my August plan with me, I'll also take the time to update these pages that I have clipped off to see if I have any of them done. The restaurants to try, places to go, and house projects, and favorite quotes. So that's sort of in the middle there. And then for the other part that I have clipped off, I'm using these perpetual quarterly calendars from PlannerKate for gratitude. And then, so that'll be a daily thing. On July 1, I'll write a daily gratitude and so on. So I don't have anything here yet either, since it is still June. But that is going to wrap up my July monthly planning. I hope that the master list and kind of seeing the function behind things and how things flow and the organization of the stickers, I think it's going to be really helpful for me personally to have that sticker binder with everything I need for my monthly planning, so I can just sit down and plan the entire month all at once without having to go here, there, and everywhere. So I hope that was maybe helpful for you too. Thank you guys for joining me as I set up July, and I'll see you back in August sometime for an August prep.